Birthday Boy 2023 with June and Robin Lovelock in Sunninghill. What follows is a very rough cut photo trail, and I'll start with Robin's Corner where we live at 22 Armitage Court. Yes, testing yet another tracker. GPS was tested here from the late 1980s at this spot here, and this is very relevant to this video. This is last year's birthday present from June. A lovely bit of garden sculpture. This year she got me some shirts and braces. Yeah, down the front drive. A lot of people will recognise this, but I'll give you the standard intro. Snoopy's robot boat, skippered by Snoopy the Viking, and this has driven a lot of activities, including testing of, for example, the replacement of the Spot Satcoms tracker. That's the camper van that was used to take Snoopy's robot boat down for last year's attempt on the Atlantic. Battle damage. June said Robin did it. Robin said the wall did it, but the wall is okay. Then health and safety warnings entering the house. Yes, lots of signs about cameras, and you have to read the small print about water squirters. Okay, I've done the health and safety, so I can go into the house. And as I say, the theme of this is birthdays. Oh yes, that's a little camera. Enough said about that. And what we have here in the study is processing of part of the trail of video clips that will appear. This is my immaculate study. Hasn't changed much for years. I don't know, 30 years or more. And again, oh, here's June. Hello, June. Getting ready for the Sicily holiday, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And that is very appropriate, because what arrived on my birthday was the present from my sister Sally, and it's a lovely t-shirt, and some of you may know what those words mean. In my best Italian it is: mi scusi, sono inglese e molto noioso. I had to double check on Google Translate, but that is, I'm sorry, I'm English and very boring. Maybe very true, and certainly the photo trails will be. So I think now we're going to go into the long photo trails, and I make no apology now that they're not edited. In fact, I've thrown 2 of the days together, but basically it's 3 days worth, including my birthday and the 2 days after, which includes some birthday celebrations. So into that long photo trail. Thursday the 25th of May 2023 photo trail, and the sort of birthday cake Robin would have quite liked at his pub lunch, but it didn't work out like that. Yes, testing his Satcoms trackers that's going to Snoopy's robot boat at every opportunity. So there we are at the pub. There's the cake that Robin would have liked, with the contents he would have liked. I'm not sure about the other guy. And there's the cake that Robin got, which was still a nice surprise. And Richard on the left, Stuart in the middle, John on the right. Yeah, Richard and Stuart, the landlord, I think, with John down on the left. The cake, and the tracker sat on the cake, and that uses the Satcoms network to report from the middle of the Atlantic if it got that far. And then a coffee and cake. And that's what we were planning the next day with Saskia and Gary, but we did something much nicer. That was a trip to Basington Park. And that's Richard's, and yeah, that's the Satcoms tracker. And back home. Oh, is that the trip down? That was the trip down to the pub. Yes. They're probably going to look at the track from my pendant tracker. Yes, there we are at home. That's the trip down to the pub. There we go at the Red Lion. And back home. And June had a tracker as well, which meant that we could see that she'd got down to the Marks and Spencer's, I think it was. And nice little slogan. And that's pretty well the end of the day, with me having a glass of wine at La Sorrentina. Friday the 26th and Saturday the 27th of May 2023, photo trails. No, didn't have time to do separate trails, but these few pictures at the front give you the flavour of the important events, which are mostly on the Saturday, meeting up with friends and family and going for a walk, including across the common, which is where Black Aerodrome was. So those few pictures give you a flavour, and now it looks as though this is the first day and we're off to visit the bank, which has opened some temporary premises in Ascot, and that was a lovely visit. Found out what they could and couldn't do, and they could do practically everything, but only had one person and very little space. Then to Robin's favourite place locally, which is Ascot Metal Recycling, the scrapyard. Yes, if you want to get a bicycle, that's the place to go. But he used the opportunity to go for a walk around the boundary, because we haven't had a rain for a while, and so the boggy areas weren't too bad. So June stayed back with the car, and Robin explored the boundary. Lovely wild area, and I guess at a different time of the day he might have seen some wildlife, but so he worked his way past what were dried up streams that would normally be boggy, this sort of rusty colour, which I think is an algae, to the boundary fence, and I think that was on the south side. The tracker maps, like from his pensioner pendant, would show. And then he's working his way, probably, I'm guessing, eastward towards the main road. He saw a big gap, but he didn't recognise at first where it was, and then he realised that was the Wells pub, and the last proprietors had opened a fizz bar, but that's been closed. So hopefully that will open as a pub again near Ascot. So then he makes his way safely as he can on the main road back towards Ascot, to where he turns left into Wells Lane, which is where Ascot Metal Recycling are, and then back down towards that, and where June will be waiting. And yeah, lovely patch. That's all part of the same area. And there's June waiting in the car, because Robin is still not allowed to drive, and hopefully the DVLA will sort out their problems. Back through Sunninghill village, and yeah, June's off, probably to do a bit of shopping. A few relevant pictures, like the present from June for last year's present, Toadie. Yes, lots of pictures of Toadie through these videos. Yes, the robot boat that survived last year's attempt to cross the Atlantic. That's how you can check what the spot tracker is, and we're now just checking the spot tracker that was taken in the car, including to the scrapyard. And where are we there? Oh, that's to Rotherwick Church. That was we're thinking about where we go on the Saturday. There was some phone calls there. Yes, it's obviously June off to tennis with a tracker in order to confirm where she was. So there she off in her car, carrying trackers with her. And that one is the Spare Spot T2 tracker, and that showed her at the tennis courts, as it should do. And then the other tracker, which is going to go into Snoopy's boat, that was also working. And then the pendant tracker, she's got one of those, that's mine. That shows me where I am here in Sunninghill. And that's June's, I think. Yeah, there's Toadie guarding the boat. Ah, there's an encounter with a black and white cat. We don't know its name, from over the back of us. June gets back from the tennis by the look of it. Oh yes, and Samantha. There was June and Samantha. Toadie there. There's the Go Top tracker we're checking out from China, new one. And that's pointing out the trackers. That's what the Go Top says. Ah, it says it's been offline. So the batteries are run flat, so I charge it up on the USB. There's Bentley from opposite, relaxing as he does for hours. And yeah, it looks like I've ordered some more stuff. June's account, that was well, that was that knowing look. Hello, Bentley. Oh yeah, how did that happen? Well, could it have been Bentley? We don't know, but a load of stuff, I only know, I heard a big crash and a load of stuff had fallen down in the kitchen out of the cupboard, and it might have happened on its own, or something might have disturbed it. So obviously that's June and Samantha back. That's checking out the Go Top tracker, and that shows a nice accurate track to and from the tennis court where they park the car. And the leather bottle, that was where we decided to rendezvous for the Saturday night. And so this, we're probably into the, I said Saturday night, no, Saturday midday. Yes, so this is on our way on the Saturday. Yeah, past some landmarks on the A30, making our way past Blackbush, and making our way to, I think it was, we decided, it's me thinking on the fly, not easy. This is, got there at the Leathered Bowl, and we thought that was a practical place to meet up with family. So there's Terry, Saskia and Gary, and there was a glass of Alan there. Oh yes, that was a present. Apparently the jokes appeared. Lovely food there. Turns out Saskia and Gary had been here before. Yes, very enjoyable lunch. All planned at the last minute. Yeah, Terry, he missed out on the the pub lunch because Robin made a stupid mistake with the emails that went out. There's Alan, and looks as though we're making our way back. Oh yes, via Rotherwick, where our friend Steve was bell ringing for a wedding, and the guys were very happy about us taking pictures because there's so many other people. So their timing was perfect. So that was the church. I had a quick look around the church. I saw the signs mentioning Commonwealth war graves, just to get a few snaps of that, and then back to meet the others in their cars. I went in Alan's camper van. Yes, we went past Blackbush and to Saskia and Gary's place in Vigo Way, where we'd had our 50th anniversary. Oh, and out came a birthday cake. Looked a rather dangerous one. Yes, very explosive. There's Alan taking some pictures as well. So we were having a lovely relax, few refreshments there, and deciding, wow, what are we going to do next? And in fact, we decided we'd take a walk. We're saying hello to their pussycat. Just coming up to 18 years now, that cat. They've got two cats similar age, and there we decided to walk across the common land, which is all part of what was, and I suppose is, Blackbush Airport. And we're making our way to a viewing point which I think may, if somebody looked up the history of it, might have some, go back to pre-Roman times, I don't know. And there's a lovely little spot there that with a bridge across some water, and of course Robin had to have a paddle. Yes, there we go. And there they all are. And made our way back, saw a few signs of, probably from the last war, stuff that had been built in the woods. You'd expect it to be reservoirs. Robin taking a few snaps of wildlife. Yeah, another rock there with, I think it's a remains of a building with wiring there. Then the runways, very impressive runways, even if they're not in use. And back to Saskia and Gary's place. So we're then off home, past the Ely pub, down the A30, where allegedly you could reach over 100 miles an hour in a little car in the early days before motorways, and past a few places including Sandhurst, and yeah, entrances into the Royal Estate there at Bagshot, and the pub, the Beefeater pub, which is in fact the Cricketers at Bagshot. On our way back to home, past the Berestead Hotel, into Armitage Court, and into the house. What have we got here? Oh yes, the magazine for the church magazine has arrived. That's a lovely community magazine. Into the garden. I think Samantha had to sort out some washing. There's Bentley from opposite, one of the guard cats, the senior cat that has been training Toadie for years. I say years, Toadie's not very old. Oh, that's the spot tracker that has been replaced by the one that we're checking out. And that's how anybody can get to it off the Snoopy page. So that shows our trip in June's car today, including to Little Vigo near Blackbush. There is Toadie watching everything. And there's the Go Top tracker. Let's have a look at that. Yes, there was a lovely track shown, including where we parked at the Leather Bottle and stopped. Yeah, there's around Little Vigo, including where we stopped, and probably our route home. Yes, and then my personal tracker. Yeah, there I was at the Leather Bottle. There I was walking around the church. There is our walk across the common land and back home. So that back here, of course. Oh yes, then there was the video WhatsApp chat with Michelle, often the family chat, and yes, Toadie decided to join us. Then June's doing her usual routine of watching tennis. I'm looking at the closed circuit TV, including both a fox and a hedgehog. Yes, that's a hedgehog, sharing the peanuts. Ah yes, the birthday cake, which I had been hoping in, and of course, yeah, that I will wear in Sicily. I warned you it'd be boring and a long photo trail, but only remains to say, look after yourselves, stay safe, and enjoy what days we have. Hello, I'm Robin Lovelock in Sunninghill, and yes, this is Robin's Corner, where we've tested GPS from the late 1980s onward, and that's the bit of garden sculpture that June gave me for my birthday present. And June and Samantha are just off to tennis at the Royal Ascot Tennis Club, and it looks like they're going to use June's car. There we go. Give them a good thrashing, June. There we go, that's the reg. KISS GPS. gpss.co.uk. yes, promoting the website, which was a business many decades ago. So they're off to tennis, and since it's in shot, that's where a cat often hangs out, along with armed mice, who look like, so we can see. And I'm going to open the garage door. Have a good game. Oh yes, that's our guard cat, Toadie. Hello, Toadie. That's my car, and I'm not allowed to drive it again due to the DVLA, the Driver Vehicle Licensing Agency, for those of you outside the UK. And I just point this out: C4 GPS, and the website gpss.co.uk. And these days, rather than business, it's all about charity. And believe it or not, the few words I say are a lot to do with hopefully helping people within the DVLA as well as outside. So yes, this is Snoopy's robot boat, and these things link together. Tried the Atlantic, lots of exposure on that, and I'm going to run straight into a recent clip where I speak in detail. The key thing is the DVLA, Driver Vehicle Licensing Agency, collect a lot of money for the UK government, and of course they use a lot of money for what they have to do, which is issue driving licenses and also for licensing of cars and vehicles. So let's run into that. Back in 2012.
Seen the launch of a transatlantic sailing attempt this morning in a model boat. Retired NATO scientist Lovelock launched his Snoop loop from Barton-on-Sea towards the Bahamas. It's already been tested over 5,000 miles on a lake in Berkshire. The model will be steered and tracked through a satellite system and by Snoopy, of course, and it should make the crossing in 6 months, if it survives, that is.
The most important thing of the lot, of course, is Snoopy the Viking, the skipper. I don't think he'd make it otherwise. We've also got another bit and piece here. This is a GPS logger that logs the position every 15 minutes. That was back in 2012. The guy that put this material together, including live broadcast and what went up on the BBC website, is Ben Moore.
I just worry for Snoopy. Sport now and Hampshire.
Right, on to the next topic. Right. Now, I'm going to do this all in one take. All unrehearsed and unscripted, so sorry about that. What I'd like to happen, if anybody picks up on the DVLA story, is, as I say, nobody getting into trouble, and that's a genuine request. But when they find flaws in procedures where they don't cover certain things, be good if those are fixed. What I think would be useful for anybody looking at the DVLA and perhaps helping them is, first of all, their organisation chart showing the structure. Yes, it's well known who the head of the DVLA, remarkable woman, looking at her CV, and relevant to this story is the head of the health part. But it would be very useful to see, even if names aren't attached, obviously the names can be attached where they're public already, is how many people in each branch, how many people are reporting to how many. So a simple tree would help. I suggest that first of all. Then, perhaps even more important, is how many people working for the DVLA, even if you don't identify the individuals, are salaried by the DVLA excuse me, directly, as opposed to contracted through an agency or a business. that is very important, and we've seen what's been happening in places like the NHS for years. So that comes into the equation in terms of whether money is well spent, and of course the DVLA collects a lot of money, and there are probably other things as well. But as a starting point, I'd hope anybody that responds to this, I can't afford to get overloaded, we've got other things to do, many other things to do, and we'll be taking a holiday, that'll be public, yes. I'm tracked everywhere by different things, and in fact, if anybody's paranoid about it, anybody who's tracking somebody or looking at somebody's probably seen already. But at the end of the day, there's me wittering on, which is one of my main weaknesses since I was a little child. That's why if you put things up, clearly be careful what you put up, and often it can do some good. I'm now in the kitchen, and June's rustling up some food in the microwave for Samantha. The microwave was invented by James Lovelock, if you didn't know. And here's Samantha, and of course there's tennis on the television, just for a change. So, oh yes, point out, holidays in we're going off to Sicily again soon, and into the hall. Yes, nice expensive paintings here. Yep, expensive little pocket camera, not expensive. And through into the lounge and out to wrap up this video by saying, look after yourselves, stay safe, and enjoy what days we have.